Hi, it's Joshua Lee Graham here, and I am here. Hey guys, I am lucky enough to be here with the founder of UK Health Radio, Johann. So, Johann, just to give our audience sort of a bit of a background about the radio station to start with, how did UK Health Radio begin?
UK Health Radio began out of a health issue I had. I used to be a fashion photographer. I worked for a fashion photographer for about 20 odd years. And then in 2011, I first had a heart attack at the age of 46, and then 6 months later I was diagnosed with cancer. And that's basically where it started. I did radiotherapy, 2 sets of radiotherapy, was cancer-free for a very short time. It came back, and I knew I had to find a different option, because the first option I'd used hadn't worked. So I started my own research, and in the end, basically cured my cancer through nutrition. And it's not only nutrition, it's a package. It's health and lifestyle. It really is dealing with stress, that kind of thing as well. But that came later. It wasn't all in one go. And to basically prevent people from having to do the sourcing I had to do, I spent months. I was given 12 months to live, and out of those 12 months I spent at least 6 months looking for an answer. And one night I read a very short sentence that it said cancer cannot survive in an oxygenated alkaline cellular environment. And that was my lifeline. I knew that minute, that second I read it, I knew that was the way I was going to get out of the position I was.
So with that, was that something was it in a book, or was it something you heard on television? Do you remember sort of roughly where you came across that?
That was in the internet. It was a piece on a Dr. Warburg. He was a German biochemist who actually won, for that information, he actually won a Nobel Prize in 1931. So the scientific aspect for me was there, it wasn't hocus pocus or anything. So I grabbed onto that. I became a vegetarian almost immediately, because, as I said, quite a few of my 12 months had expired by then already. I wasn't ill, I wasn't well anymore, really wasn't. And it carried on, became a vegan. Today I am an alkaline vegan, and so I only eat alkaline food because of that little sentence. And to get back to your question, sorry, I always digress. I wanted to help other people not having to go through months of trying to find a way to stay alive. So I wanted to create a portal to bring quality, positive information into one place, and preferably for free. And that's where it started. For me, radio has always been the most intimate media form. I have a saying that I repeat quite often. It's radio goes in your ears, and the information stays in your head. And it's true. It is so personal. It's much more than television or whatever. And the other thing was I couldn't afford television.
So that's incredible. It's like you said, how this one sentence had such a profound impact on your life, and it's almost like a pay it forward, where you decided, it was one thing to, go for this experience yourself and work out all of this, but to be able to provide what you do now for other people, how does that make you feel?
I get a awful amount of pleasure out of UK Health Radio. I have to be very honest with you. It gets me out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. My day starts at 4. it was actually one of the ways I learned to handle stress, because you can't get away from stress anymore, but you can learn to live with it and deal with it properly. So I lengthened my day. It's undescribable. I have to be very honest with you. We get so much feedback from people. We launched a mental health show in November, and I get goosebumps when I think of it. The feedback we get from people that are literally on the edge of suicide, that write to us and say, "Thank you, for I'm in a different frame of mind now." I cannot tell you. It's fuel. That's what fuels me. It's unbelievable.
So this whole experience, was prominent with a lot of the sort of incredible people that we've done interviews with over the last few weeks in particular, is being able to go almost through a breakdown. You almost hit rock bottom to be able to break through to cause such an impact that you have. So to somebody who is in that position and they've not maybe heard of UK UK Health Radio, what is it all about? So apart from obviously these sort of separate things that you do, what is really behind UK Health Radio?
UK Health Radio has a very clear purpose, and that is to animate and to inform people in a positive way, to be part of their health process, not to give their health into the hands of somebody else. Now this doesn't mean taking your health into your own hands either, but to get involved in the process of attaining and or keeping your health freedom. And that's what we do. That is our main goal and purpose. I hope that explains it. We do it through quite a few channels. We've got the radio. We have a magazine, a digital magazine, hugely popular. We have about 60,000 reads every month. And we started about 7 or 8 months. We launched Wiki Health, which is what it is, what the name says, a Wikipedia for health. And once again, giving all options on one disease or on one ailment or whatever it is, not only one-sided information. That was my main thing. One-sided information doesn't help anybody, because if it fails, we fail. So that was the idea. So we do everything. We give all options, from like energy healing all the way through to biochemical products and treatments. So it's all in there.
That's absolutely awesome. And it's like you said, to create such a platform with that ethos, with the ethics behind it. And I believe sort of ethics is a big thing within within the station. So can you sort of talk to us about the ethics behind everything?
Yeah, ethics, because it's health. It's always important, but especially when it's about people's well-being, ethics is the main thing. There is nothing secondary to it, So I'm not a health professional myself. I'm called by the press, and I love the name, I'm called the Curator of Health Expertise. And if you think of it, that's exactly what I do. I curate expertise. And I only, with all our presenters, they are all on their own journey of advancing. They're all going somewhere. They are all very ethical people. And I don't ask them anything except for two things when we do it. I ask them to do it positively and ethically. And it's the beginning and the end of creating trust. Trust in the presenter, trust in their shows, and in the end, trust in UK Health Radio.
That's incredible, because obviously a big thing with SUCCESS4, again, we just set out with the intention of being able to provide people with value and make people understand that well-being, personal development. It's not all about the chasing the monetary side of things, and and discovering the best version of yourself could be creating a healthier version of yourself. It could be being able to spend more time with your family. So you as you said, making that transition, for instance, from fashion photography to being where you are today. If somebody is in a profession perhaps where they're doing something, but they feel as though they can contribute more, that there's something more that they can give, what advice would you give to someone in that situation?
I think intention is extremely important. But there's one thing that's more important than intention. Actually, they go hand in hand. The one comes after the other one. After intention, there has to be action. Without action, nothing happens. Understanding something intellectually is wonderful. It's necessary. But not doing anything about it is a catastrophe. And I honestly believe that, and you must just never ever give up. My wife and I literally sold everything we had to start UK Health Radio. But we had a goal, we had a vision, and it's worked. So intention is great, but action is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
That answers your question. I'm sorry.
No. That's a brilliant answer, and I think that is a part that a lot of people miss when there's these get rich quick schemes where you're sort of told to give everything up, or to almost take out a loan, or take out a credit card or whatever to buy a certain program. But if the intention isn't there to start with, so I think you've given a key point there, which is hugely valuable. If the intention isn't there, if it's not something that you're so sure that you're supposed to do, then it's okay to keep discovering whatever it is that makes you, and discover what that big goal is before you make that leap. Because I'm sure it wouldn't have been an easy discussion with your wife, this after everything you've been through as well, to make that decision. Right, I'm going to take that leap and I'm going to make it happen.
Well, I truly believe that when you found your niche, action comes automatically after intention. So of course you have to look. I mean, that's the fundamental part of it. That's the first step. And if you found that niche, the action is almost automatic. It's like a passion. It's a driven force that takes hold of you.
And I think, like you said, that even in this discussion here, it comes across. So you don't have to be an expert as such in the work itself, but if there's an intention behind it, if there's something like creating the platform that you've created, you don't have to have all the answers, do you?
You really don't. I mean, and who is a professional in everything? So you source the professionals in the areas that are most needed to help as many people as you possibly can, and you build that up show after show. We started with one show. We aired it 24 hours a day, and it was like thankfully it was a daily show, because it would have gotten really tedious, but and as the interest grew, and as we got feedback from the people that needed the information, very important, not what we're thinking they need, what they really need, I then literally I started phoning people up, looking for them, and most of our presenters aren't radio presenters, they health professionals. So we basically had to first of all convince them of us, of the ethical side of us and everything else. Then we had to convince them to even think about doing radio, and we had to train them. But the combination and their passion, it's not only about my passion. I can have all the passion in the world, but if I can't source passion to do the job with, to provide the information with, it won't happen. And that's the thing. So you can't do it yourself. I have a very incredible group of people that I discuss things with, It's like a mastermind. It is a mastermind.
Exactly, and again that mastermind is very important, and it's like you said, understanding that having a vision, having the dream, you can, and more importantly, you don't have to do it all by yourself. So having a team of people around you, can you just sort of go into that a bit more about how important having that mastermind, having that team is as well?
It's the most important, and I can literally, I know this is out of character for me, but do it in one sentence. I always say, my best thinking is done by somebody else, and that is within that mastermind. Of course, it has to be people that you can trust with your life, that are there to have your back, very important. But as they help you, you help them. So it literally is a give and take. You know, you when you give, you receive, and that is what it's about.
Amazing, yeah. And you've given us so much value in a short space of time. How can people listen to the UK Health Radio? Where do we find you?
It's an internet radio station, so we are worldwide, gratefully. I'm really happy about that. The website is www.ukhealthradio.com. Once you're on the website, we have an app that you can download onto your phone. The app is for free on iTunes and on Google Play, the whole ways. Download us, take us with you, and listen to us. Read our magazine. Our Wiki Health is incredible, and just be really happy to have you people listening to us, and that we can inform them.
Awesome, and it's like you said, it's more than, you know, from the sound, it's more than just medical models. This is alternative, you know, healing, energy with things like this. So there's going to be something for everybody on there, yeah.
All aspects of health. We don't differentiate between natural health or mainstream health. We just bring the information, quality information.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today, Johann, and it's been an absolute pleasure for us. And enjoy the rest of your experience here, okay? All right, awesome. Thank you.